Let's go into the first match of the day, Remo. First out of 4, Winnerbracket Final. The ultimate hype. It is the current reigning WGL champion, a 4-time world champion. It is Infi stepping in the ring. He has played human before. He's in a group full of Night Elves with Moon, Foggy, and Colorful. And in the first round, first match looked a little shaky, but afterwards, it was the Iceman.
We're expecting him to play human again today. Of course, he can switch it up every time. Moon, obviously, playing the Night Elves. Of course, the Night Elves' hardest matchup for the last couple of years has been that against human, especially when in the hands of Infi. Infi may have lost the first map yesterday against Colorful, or 2 days ago that was. Turtle Rock was weird. That didn't really work out. But those other 2 maps, holy Jesus Christ, that was brutal. And Infi showed us that we should not sleep on him, even if he hasn't been playing that much competitive human lately.
Never. But, gotta be honest here, Moon is on a 4-0 win streak against Infi. Does that say too much? No, it doesn't. It was 3 matches in gold qualifier tournaments. Infi was playing random, Infi was playing undead. The one reference we have is the WCG quarterfinal, and that was a 3-0 clean sweep by Moon. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was really clear, very impressive. Moon seemed to be on his way to the title there. WCG made it to the final just to be stopped by Fly. Before that, by the way, before that loss and the WGL qualifier games, which don't really count, it was 4 wins for Infi in a row in 2019 towards the later stages with the next tournament, WCG 2019, of course, and the winter season as well of the WGL. So Infi has had victories before. We're going to see how Comfy's feeling today. We see the map vetoes here. Moon removes Northern Isles and Last Refuge. Infi bans Concealed Hill and Turtle Rock. I like that ban a lot. That map didn't work out too well before.
Not at all, no. Should be the new Twisted in a way that you really, really don't want to play that map. Especially not against human. This is going to be interesting. Infi is, of course, in the studio in Shanghai, and he has voiced his opinion that he's not too happy with that. The Koreans, of course, all playing from home. It is not the standard condition. It's standard tournament conditions, of course. But, you know, home is where the heart is. Home is where the wife is. Home is where your screen, your desk is, your chair. You're so used to the setup. Maybe that is a little bit of a handicap for Infi.
Yeah, you could definitely argue so. Of course, at home, everything should always feel very convenient, very comfortable. You should be able to play your best there. But if we're judging from the game so far this tournament, I would go so far as to say that the disappointing performances have been from the people playing from home. Sok and Lin both played from home. No, sorry, Lin was there.
Lin was there.
Sok played from home. So I guess it's a 50-50. You can still perform very well offline. Some people thrive off that offline experience and that offline energy. But then again, of course, because of current situations, there's no crowd there at the studio, at the venue. So is there really that kind of offline feeling without an audience there? Questionable. Well, we'll see how these players deal with this now. Infi versus Moon.
Oh man, Terenas Stand to open things. The Iceman, the WGL champion. Can he get revenge against him? The greatest of all time. This is the most decorated player of all time against the third most decorated player of all time. Infi going into this season here. He was the WGL and WCG champion. One championship he has already lost. Will he lose the second one as well? Or will he carry the flag of the Human Alliance? He's starting in the upper left. Infi, the Iceman against Moon, the GOAT. Here we go.
Terenas Stand. A map that we see plenty of in this matchup. Rather rare in other ones, but the humans and the Night Elves agree that they want to play here on TS. Normally, very much predictable in the hero choices. Usually we see an MK versus a Warden. Lawlight has shown us in the past how strong she can be. Foggy is as well. Moon, as great as he is, he never really loved playing that solo Warden too much. He was more about a Keeper of the Grove. Is it the Warden this time? Yes, it is.
Ooh, okay. He got better with that, for sure. Not on the level of Lawlight and Foggy, same as Colorful, but I would rank his Warden still above Colorful. So let's see how this goes. Infi, of course, with the Mountain King. That is the standard opening here on Terenas Stand. And I'm a little surprised that Moon is not going for a Tavern Hero or a Keeper, but instead for the Warden. That's what I expected going into this series.
Yeah, Terenas Stand, of course, the home of the Warden, but the Beastmaster had a very popular stint in the scene. I think it was discovered, first played by Lawlight and Moon like 3 months ago or something. Beastmaster with a bear seemed very, very powerful, but the humans slowly adjusted and seemed to have found a really good answer with a Blood Mage second. And we have been seeing less and less of the Beastmaster. So here we have now Moon with the Warden. How elaborate is his game plan gonna be? How good is his creeping gonna be? A Warden plays very, very different from the other heroes. Normally, Moon loves claiming map control early and then pressuring continuously with the hero, with the units, never letting the opponent breathe. Where the Warden is much more distraction-focused, creep-focused. She bobs in and out. She goes for economy harass. She's very evasive. So she requires a lot of special practice and a lot of planning as well. Very, very curious to see how Moon is going to be able to play her.
Yeah, there's also 2 different playstyles on the Warden herself with Fan of Knives and Shadow Strike first. But Moon, thanks to the mercenary camp, decides to go for Fan of Knives. That is better against economy and against the mortar teams and casts in the late game, while Shadow Strike is especially good on Echo Isles, where we can see an Archmage usually. Look at the items for this MK though. Big mana potion, gauntlets for more HP and damage, and the cloak who became so valuable. And the theme of WGL Winter at the moment seems to be hero focus. I think we saw a lot of hero kills for the amount of games played so far, and a Mountain King, quick level 3, big potion of mana. I feel for this Warden.
She is now creeping in the middle of the map. Mountain King creeping the natural early will be a fast level 3 for him. The usual build that we see here, Stormbolt and Bash in the beginning. For the late game, we're probably going to see a retrain into Clap. Cheaper nowadays with the cheaper Tome of Retrain. Only single Ancient of War, by the way, by Moon. Not going with a double AOW as so many others are. No expansion yet. It's a 1 Ancient of War tech for the Warden.
It's greedy.
She's creeping up in the middle, but certainly not level 3 yet. It's a second footy going down. The first one already took plenty of damage. That one also falls. I feel like these footmen are dying a little too easily.
Especially in the hands of Infi. Always a big weapon, but he will make sure that he has plenty of them. Maybe not as much as on other maps because of the Fan of Knives. That's the best solution. Level 2 Fan of Knives into Footman can deal with them rather quickly. Infi, though, he might lose Footman. Is he going for mercenaries? Not really. This is such a greedy play by Moon. I'm not too sure if that's the right thing. No power creeping results in a level disadvantage. No Tree of Life, which the Mountain King is definitely looking for at the moment, but he can't really find it. I wonder what Moon is doing on tier 2. Is it his patented Mass Dryad timing push?
Yeah, so far the Warden is not off to the hardest start.
Ah, there's the expansion.
Ah, there it is. Okay, cool position. Should be safe there. Not very fast, but very protected. And the Warden killed 0 peasants. She was able to take out 2 footmen. Or, well, I guess the Ancient of War got the one last hit. Infi is looking around for possible Ancient Protectors. He's dotting his I's. He's crossing his T's. Mountain King, by the way, ran across the map without a telestaff, which is kind of unusual to see. But he's very scary right now. With the Stormbolts, ooh, the Warden taking plenty of damage. Perhaps going to have to blink here early.
Well, that would result in a lower mana pool, of course. But she didn't use a lot of Fan of Knives. Very conservative with the mana. And so healing is very cheap. But it is interesting to see that we don't have a... Okay, now we have a telestaff on the Warden. Wisps are not really close to Infi's expansion or main base.
This game is looking wonderful for Infi so far. He hasn't been harassed at all. He's got his macro coming up. Lately on Terenas Stand, Mass Dragonhawks has been very popular. Yes. I wonder if we're going to see that again. Now the MK has his footman back up. He's got his mercs, and he can pressure here pretty effectively. Overextending into the Moonwells, I think, would be a mistake, but he can just contain Moon right now. If Moon begins any creep camp, Infi is going to be there right away for the Jack.
Aggressive Infi. I like it. That's how you're supposed to play this MK. And I'm not too sure if you can go for Nature's Blessing early. If not, this Tree of Life will take a long walk towards the expansion. Plus, you have to creep it. Infi, flawlessly, uninterrupted, or moving towards tier 2, getting us around, forcing another blink, forces a little bit more mana and moon juice.
Expansion now finally up and walking. Mana potion consumed. Lots of damage on the Warden. It's going to be another blink. This is quite expensive in mana. Moon juice being drained once again. We don't have too much juice left. And daytime is about to hit. Moon desperately needs these dryads. Infi should be getting defend in anticipation.
The good thing for Moon is Infi already threw so many hammers that he burned through the big mana potion. Not in a fight, not with Clap, but for the level 2 Stormbolt, and in exchange, he only got a little bit of Moon Juice. So I think he's fine with that. Scroll of the Beast was not used. He sold that, a little bit of extra gold. Warden again at the Mercenary. Whoa, staff out.
Ah, nice.
That was pretty beautiful.
Infi could go for a Mud Golem right now. Having slow on top of everything else could be wonderful, but he's going for the lab. Actually, upon daytime, right away going for the lab. Picks up the Shredder and can use that one now as well.
Okay. Looks like he wants to harass a little bit. Dropping into the Night Elf main. Maybe not the most efficient, but he can pick up units and then not feed the Warden too much. Who's still struggling to get up to level 3. And that's usually never the case. 7 minutes 30 in. Infi stopping the Warden in her tracks. And rising up to tier 3, while Moon, not having the Expo up, does have Nature's Blessing. Okay, that's sweet. The Engine of War gets killed. Infi is playing a great game. Stopping the Warden, stopping the creep, no tier 3, Expo not up. He's checking all the boxes.
Now, you mentioned the Nature's Blessing. Moon got that here to make sure his trees will be safe and faster. But it's expensive. 150 gold, 200 lumber. That is delaying the tier 3 by a mile. Normally with the Warden, you want to get tier 3 fast for that bonus experience and bears and orb and anti-magic, all that stuff. But here now, Moon's tier 3 is going to be greatly delayed. The human tier 3 is going to be finished before the Night Elves. That is pretty unheard of. Warden coming in now. Fan of Knives doing good damage. This would be the perfect moment for an Alchemist, by the way.
Yes. For Infi, of course. On the other side, will we see a second hero for Moon? Is it going to be the Panda or the Tinker? Or will it be a solo Warden? Sometimes the Demon Hunter could be nice, but Infi not going for an Alchemist. We saw production. Oh, the Warden! Needs a blink, needs a potion. Gets it. That was risky if that's another bash. Warden's probably dead, and with that, Moon's first game. This should then be a Blood Mage second.
Yeah. Oh, he stole the item. Did you see that?
Warden again in trouble.
Yeah, he stole the Periapt. MK got that now. Not the most useful necessarily for him. He's tanky already, but for the Blood Mage, could be nice. And yeah, dropping the item there for maximum effect can sometimes be punished if it's stolen. Double Aviaries coming up again. Dragonhawks are a potential, but we see an early workshop as well. Not just pure air here for Infi.
New style, okay. Dryads, of course, can work a little bit without the Warden around. They're very fast, as long as there are no mortar teams, no rifles. They have a good time. Footman can reach them. Mountain King can Stormbolt them. How good of a time will the Warden have against this Blood Mage, I wonder?
Yeah, seems like she needs level 5 ASAP. And there's no Ancients of War anywhere. This is looking pretty problematic if you're a Moon fan here, I believe. At least you got the expansion up fast. So maybe Moon can rely a little more on army rather than just purely on the Warden.
Yeah, but for how long? Like, it's only mass Dryads. Yes, in the hands of Moon. That's always a little different. Ooh, okay. Engine of Wind might just be for one hippo against the Zeppelin. We haven't seen any kind of army harass. Paladin third. Interesting. Switching up a lot. No Alchemist second. No Blood Mage third then, of course. But rather single target.
I think we're not seeing the Alchemist here because he can't do his strong mid-game power play where you load up into the Zeppelin, you harass, the Night Elf expansion, and you cancel the Entangled over and over and over with the heal spray. We saw that before by Chimiko. Here with this Tri-Hero combo now, if Infi makes it to 5-3-3 levels, this MK Pally Blood Mage is crazy strong. He's still a little ways off from that, but the nice thing is, once you start killing Dryads, you get a lot of experience.
Interesting if you look at the player cameras. Infi pretty much biting his lip for the entirety of the game. Rare to see. On the other side, Moon, open mouth, grubby style. A little bit of a difference there. 61 supply already for Infi. He's well prepared for what's to come. And he will have more time to level up this Tri-Hero. Warden's still reliant on her own. The Dryads are very hurt. Can't really go too deep into the towers. And Infi is ready with the Zeppelin to save the workers.
Ooh, that Zap is gonna fall though.
Is it though?
I think.
Okay. Fan, is it ready? Not really. Has to TP out before because the Dryads are way too hurt. Moves them out of range. Quick reactions by both players. High-class Warcraft in the group stage here.
We saw Griffins there, by the way. No Dragonhawks.
Yes, there are two.
Ah, there we go. Okay. We also have the first tank coming out. Tanks, of course, nowadays give more experience, so dangerous to overinvest into them. Could be a Warden quickly spiraling out of control, and she is starting to get there. Level 4.9 needs a little bit more for that level 5, and then she can start harassing the economy pretty well. We do have double Ancient of Wind once again. We saw before Lawlight trying to counter Dragonhawks with Hippogriffs. That didn't work out too well. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, finally, anti-magic, level 5. He was waiting for that. Book of the Dead, not too bad. That is a lot of kills and, of course, big help on the way to level 6, but no orb yet. And I'm not too sure if he even got tier 3. Infi is preparing a big push with 2 heal scrolls. Also mana potions, TP, invul potions, very well equipped.
Alright, going in now, attacking the Ancient of Wind right away. Warden staffs home. 5.3. Still far away from the level 6, but she wants to get there via the Dragonhawks. They are pretty squishy. We can see how much damage they are taking. Scroll of Protection used as well. Hippogriff coming in by getting shackled right away. In that process, of course, there's no attacking happening. Even the Banish coming in
to
protect the shackling Dragonhawks. Very beautifully done. And now Blood Mage level 3.
Infi special, the banished shackles. We've seen this before. Moon, his supply doesn't look too good. We see the Wand of the Wind used on a bear. The Warden alone can't carry this. Hoping for the level 6, but even then there's no mana. The tank is working on the Tree of Life. Still a lot of air for Infi here. And what's the anti-air? Not too much. There's no Dryads anymore. All dead. Berserker as well. It's literally only the Warden and a little bit of a bear. Like 3 bears here on the ground. Mountain King could use Clap now. Would love to have Clap now. But Stormbolt and right clicks, that's enough. Now the Warden level 6 needs mana.
And the Blood Mage is disabling that for now. The level 2 Siphon, we mentioned it over and over, is so strong. But now she's level 6. Ultimate, can this switch this game around now? It's not that much air army left here for Infi. He lost quite a bit, down to 64 supply. But the hero levels are now there. 5-3-3, mentioned before. So super strong.
Fan.
Hero combo.
Did Moon... Oh, summon the Avatar? Wait, it's no Avatar. It's Blink 3.
What?
Why would you do that?
That almost looks like a misclick. Also, Blink from level 2 to level 3 barely upgrades. Well, and Infi is just cleaning up this ground army very easily now.
Yeah.
More experience for his heroes. Blood Mage close to 4. Warden always has to blink out. The Orb of Venom and Spear poison damage from the Dryads is doing a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it's enough. Infi, 70 supplies. Still, he could go for more heal scrolls, maybe.
Yeah.
And the more teams going to town on this expansion.
This
Moon
game
has to
is
hold
over.
the expo. But
Yeah.
it doesn't look like he can.
No way. And even then, it's still 2 base. We have the first Mortar team in. Great against Dryads. They're all about to drop heal scroll for Moon. No, maybe the Avatar could have turned this around, or at least by time. But no way. Jose, this game is very much over. He's trying his very best with the Fan of Knives, but very limited targets, of course, with only 5. Can't even snipe this Mortar team reliably. Look at the damage.
Infi now out of mana on all of his heroes, but still lots of air army left, which must have good upgrades at this point as well. Siphon coming through, Warden dry once more. Moon is doing a good job holding on to this tree as long as he is, but surviving and winning are two different things, and winning is only one guy, that's the human player.
Infi, one of the best players in the world to just hold on to a game and knowing when he can go for the throat of his opponents and finish the game. And he's just choking him out. Stormbolt, right click, never went into clap against the very few bears he had, or Moon had. And that's it. GG Infi in WGL champion shape.
Yeah, looking really good. Terenas Stand, the new meta is no more mass tanks, no more knights and breakers as we saw before, but rather mass air. Looking really good for the humans right now. The perfect counter to that seems to not have been found yet by our top Night Elf players. Moon trying the Warden here, something he hasn't done too much as of late on the top level. It was more the Beastmaster play, but that also doesn't seem to be working out too well. Moon is still feeling out his strategies in this matchup, especially on Terenas, and today it was not practiced enough. He needs a little bit more time, more preparation for Terenas specifically, but other maps might look a lot better. Once we go back to more standard pressure play maps, like map control maps with the Keeper of the Grove, these games will look very different.
I gotta say, I'm not too impressed with Moon's play, nor his game plan. What was his game plan? Infi destroyed the Warden very early on with an aggressive Mountain King, and it took 8 minutes to get her to level 3 on a map where level 3 is basically guaranteed if you're not too greedy, but Moon was too greedy. No second engine of war. Infi, with a lot of presence on the right-hand side, destroyed the engine of war, could never creep the Renegade, could never creep the lab, and then no echo harass, and if you don't stop a human on the way to tier 3, or at least slow him down, then you're facing a couple of Dragonhawks, you're facing Griffins, you're facing tanks, you're facing Tri-Hero. I don't know. Warden play never been his. We talked about this in the early stages, but then no Avatar. Really questionable. His strength, though, Keeper, Tavern Heroes. And we will, as you said, see that way more on map 2 and hopefully 3.
Past this series, also in the following months, I'm going to be really curious how Moon continues to play this matchup. Is he going to start vetoing TS, perhaps? Trying to avoid the Warden, which he's not so good at? Is he going to try to spam the Warden to get better with her? Or is he going to try to find a different strategy on Terenas once again? That's the question I'm asking myself for the other games coming up for Moon, because, of course, following his creative process is really fascinating. He has innovated so many different times over and over, whether it be Keeper, Beastmaster, unit combo, everything.
We also have to say that this was a fantastic start for the MK. It was exactly what he needed. A little bit more sustain, a little bit more right-click damage, and for 3 more Stormbolts. With that, he was able to keep the Warden in her home turf, and she couldn't really go anywhere. And Unfold used a lot of Moon Juice with the mana potion there. Moon was forced to be conservative with his own mana, as he had to heal so much. So, yeah, it was a rough game.
Yeah, he did it well, but he also... Moon gave him that opening. This MK didn't have a staff. He didn't arrive early across the map. He just slowly walked there. No boots, no staff. At that point, the Warden is supposed to be level 3 and then hold on way, way easier. Moon just kind of wasted his time a little bit in the early compared to other Warden players. And that matchup is so momentum-based. When you start to snowball with the human economy, and that is all safe, you become really strong later. If you start to snowball with the Warden, suddenly you find kills, you get to level 3, and that jumpstarts to level 4 and level 5. It has a great rippling effect. But Moon just not off to the hottest start right there. We mentioned it, the Warden isn't his. Echo Isles now, that's going to be his map pick. A map where the Warden is also certainly playable, but I'm not expecting it from Moon.
Yeah, maybe it's his pocket strat. We'll see about that. It is the norm in the end. Like, pretty much everyone plays Warden here nowadays with Shadow Strike opening.
Yeah, and
but Moon is not everyone.
Yeah, Shadow Strike would also make for a different game. That suits him much better. Have the mercs, have the army, use Shadow Strike get a few kills, get ahead a little bit, find kills one by one, level up slowly, and be able to control the map much more with that slowdown of the Shadow Strike. This blinking around and evading and dodging storm bolts and only going for peasants, that is something that Lawlight excels in. Moon, not necessarily so much. Echo Isles can be very polarizing. If the Warden ever gets to level 5, it's a human's nightmare. But getting to that stage can be very difficult. Quite a bit more difficult than it is on Terenas Stand. In comparison, if you creep very, very well on TS, that wasn't necessarily the case for Moon. But it's his map pick now. I'm sure he has something very good prepared.
Absolutely. With you can still go for mercenaries, you can still go for an expansion. Here they go. Moon was eliminated in summer in the semifinals by TH, who later dropped to Infi in the grand final. In the season before, neither of them made it into the playoffs. Both were in the same group, the group of death, with Sock and Happy and Colorful, but both were defeated in that one. But that is 1 year ago, of course. Let's see what we get on map number 2. Moon starting on the upper left-hand side, facing the lower bracket, where he would have a Night Elf mirror, that's for sure, against either Colorful or the rematch against Foggy. And it is an Engine of War at the green.
Yeah. That must mean Keeper then. Moon doesn't want to take the risk of playing Warden again. Doesn't want to put it all his hopes on the Warden. He's going to go with the Keeper here now. That is much more reliable, I'm not so sure, but it's certainly something that he's more used to. He's going to play the map. He's going to get reliable levels on his Keeper of the Grove against Infi's AM, I imagine.
Yes. In the qualifiers, by the way, the rules were that you can pick your race for every map, not the entire series. You had to declare that first before the veto process starts. Not too sure if they changed the rules. Otherwise, we could see Infi with multiple races in just one series for once.
Yeah, pretty crazy that is/was possible, but not seeing it yet. Infi, of course, a masterful random player. Probably the best random player in the world, period. But here, so far, he's sticking to human. We talked about that before. Against Night Elf, very understandable. If he makes it to the top 8 into other matchups, I could definitely see him switching around his race. So, for Echo Isles, this is going to be a fast expansion by Infi, most likely.
Question is, how fast? And what's the creep route? Green, Merc Expo. Green, Expo. Plenty of options here, but against the Keeper, you would really love to have that Shadow Priest. There's a farm on the left-hand side, so he knows that it's not the aggressive mercenary camp creep, as he saw, hey, there's no Engine of War. But also Moon moving south.
Double farm over there, and another farm in the middle. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before.
Huh.
This will take forever to take out the farms. With Treants, it's a little faster, but...
Yeah, with Treants in theory you could do it, but it's a lot of time that Treants aren't harassing elsewhere. It's a lot of mana that Keeper has to spend, and mana management is very, very important. Alright, expansion coming up here fast for Moon as well. He crept the green in the north into the expansion, that's level 2. AM creeping as well, setting up his expansion here soon, and it is going to be a 2-base game as it seems.
Ooh, these are oftentimes the best ones. Looking forward to this. Moon, by the way, recently has lost to Chimiko as well. Before that, he had a 3-month win streak versus human. That is incredible. But yeah, Infi is a different beast. Was once called the 6th race when he was still playing 1,000,000 towers per map. Okay, mercenaries on
here by Moon. Pulls out the Merc camp, doesn't get purged, easy to do. I think he crept this all with just 2 sets of Treants, maybe 3 sets of Treants. So the Keeper's gonna get a fast level 3, the AM trailing behind just a tiny smidge. Oh, look at that, a Wisp Scout! Sees the AM coming across. With that information, he can get into position to ensure the expansion will not be cancelled.
Okay,
Good
Infi
play.
sees this. He has +7 damage, though. Not committing to it, but there's a little footman squad coming from the south. Is Moon expecting this? It's not very uncommon anymore to use the bottom side of Echo Isles for some run-bys. There's no scout for that.
Oh, that might work out. But Moon is perhaps reading this play. He's falling back already. Oh, this is a crucial moment in this game. Is that enough damage to force the cancel? Moon is hustling over with the Entangle, with the Dispels. He wants to keep his expansion alive. Double Dispel. Watch Elemental, though, still standing. Wisp coming in from the main. That looks like a cancel.
Wow, the timing by Infi is gorgeous. All he sacrifices 2 footmen, and that expansion was almost finished. Is he even taking the Shadow Priest? I mean, there's no mana anymore. Could be helped with Moon Juice. But on his side, there's Arcane Towers. They are ready. So the tree and Terrace doesn't do too much, and Moon has to rebuild the tree and entangle. This second base is very late, while Infi is teching prior to the 5-minute mark.
Great play by Infi. He's got the timings down, the creep route's good, the expo timing is flawless, and behind all of that, he keeps the macro up and techs fairly quickly as well. The tech for Moon, though, must be faster. He's gonna get Dryads and second hero out sooner. Infi knows that's what he has to get ready for. He's got a bit of a lead. Now Infi must make sure he's not throwing it away.
Okay, Moon, how can you come back without much mana? This is the new thing for Human, right? We've seen this in the European qualifier as well by Johnny Cage against Foggy. We've seen it by Chimiko. Pressuring Moonwells. When did that start?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much damage, these footies are gonna be able to do, but a little bit here, a little bit there. This multi-screen play, something we've been seeing a lot from the top dogs out there, tasking, the multitasking capabilities of the opponents, and Infi is looking really good here. Finds the shop in the middle. No staff for you, says Infi.
I don't want to judge this too quick, but Moon is getting outplayed hard.
Yeah, the keeper didn't have the time to get back to the Moonwells in a long while. That means he's been out of mana for really long. Usually his strength is getting level 3 fast and then controlling the map, taking out the footies, and taking a strong foothold on tier 2. But here Infi is disrupting that very, very well. He's probably going to lose all the footmen now, but he's got some more to replace. He's going to go for Mercamp creep here pretty soon. Once again, a good scout by Moon. But about this Mercamp, he certainly cannot do anything. Much like Infi cannot cancel his expansion again, but it was a tremendous delay already. And now I wonder, what's Infi gonna do? Is he gonna try to finish the deal on tier 2, or is he gonna go tier 3?
Blacksmith certainly indicates Rifleman against Moon. That makes a lot of sense. Demon Hunter second for Moon. Tier 2, so not that late, and he's creeping up the middle. Infi soaking up experience on his Archmage. Not too much remaining for the second hero then. There's the Murlocs and the Turtles and the Marketplace maybe. Pendant of Energy. These items are excellent for Infi, by the way. Moon on the other side trades his items for a Scroll of Healing. What's Infi's second hero? Did we see that already?
Not quite yet. Should be starting soon. Lumber a little bit low, as is the case so often on this map. So this Peasant Harass at the expansion was actually pretty effective. Second barracks. We saw a glimpse of that there at the expansion. Second barracks. Rifles coming.
I love that. If the early game is going so well and you know your opponent is a big fan of Dryads, Blood Mage it is, you can mass quite some rifles here. And until Moon has Mountain Giants, they are really, really, really good. And Moon, not the biggest fan of Mountain Giants, he usually wants to dictate the mid game with Dryads. Infi is right in his base again. Can't cancel something this time. But he will confirm the Demon Hunter second, and Infi then knows I got the perfect second hero against this.
Yeah, he's also seeing no tier 3 tech, so he knows it can only be Dryads. And that is certainly cause to rub his hands together, because he knows, hells yeah, that's gonna work out well for me. If he gets a couple of heal scrolls, and yeah, once he gets up to 60, 70 supply rifles with a few upgrades, Dryads are gonna have a very tough time, but these are Moon Dryads. Never sleep on those.
Exactly. He needs the crazy micro from 1.5 years ago, summer of 19. I'm not too sure if Moon played a second unit except Dryads in that tournament with the craziest Dryad micro that we've ever seen, probably. Was then bested by Happy in the final, but we see it again. Hero split from the army, Footman pressuring the Moonwells and causes another response. Even a TP? Yeah.
Could be a lot of kills for Moon here, actually. His army is way stronger. Yeah, that's a smart TP out by Infi. He would lose everything there.
The timing as well. Moon supply blocked with this. Can't even go up to 50. And Infi is gonna be at 70 soon. He lost the farm as well, as I think a tree is taking care of the farms at the mercenary camp, but he's rebuilding them fast with power build, obviously getting more upgrades. And yeah, Infi at 60, soon to be 70, goes for the push, probably for the win.
The Sanctum may not be rallied, so these priests may be stuck behind in the base. And Moon did a great job. He got the double heal scroll. So important. Whilst taking up to tier 3. If Moon holds on here, survives for 3-4 minutes, maybe he can get to Bears or Mountain Giants. That's the tech he needs. But at this moment, he's staring down the barrel.
Yeah. With level 2 watermelons. 2 heal scrolls for Moon. Infi, not too much healing here, but there's also not the greatest AoE. Priests are coming. How impactful will the Demon Hunter be? He has 2 rings. With that, he can stay in the front line for a long time. Also, tree and support. Mana for the Keeper is very low, though.
Peasants arrive. Towers could be a great help.
Yeah.
Infi does have the resources to set a few of them up. So many watch elements. Where are the abolishes?
Not there yet. He's using the wisps, but doesn't really hit anything. And Infi is buying time for the towers. 4-3 heroes on Moon. Siphon, nicely dodged. The Footman really want to kill something. Oh my, the Dispel!
Oof.
That was, oh, another one! Multi-kill! And there's still so much mana.
Somewhere in Russia, Death Note is screaming out. That was beautiful! So many Treants eliminated. Keeper dropping low as well. These rifle right clicks hurt. They got AWPs in their arms, and they are painful. Demon Hunter must be careful now. He took quite a bit of damage there himself. Falls back. Infi's holding the line. He doesn't have a heal scroll, though. All the footies are dropping low. Moon is getting up there in supply slowly. But also, we have the towers coming up.
Yeah, he can fall back into that little sanctuary he's building here. Footman and rifles are pressuring this tree. It's once again only Dryads that go into range of rifles and being slaughtered. The Demon Hunter, despite the 2 rings, is melting against this. 1 of 2 heal scrolls used already. Infi at 75 supply as Moon is trying to stall time. Has to retreat a little though. Needs more mana. Now finally tier 3. Finally the orb. But I think his time is ticking. And Infi is choking him out.
We have the first 2 bears, no mountain giants. The bear tech a little bit faster. How much can they do? Taking plenty of damage right away, but a decent Dryad front line behind that, or back line I should say.
Siphon.
Demon Hunter dropping low. There is no staff, by the way. Needs to be careful. Makes it back once again. Ancient of War holding the front now, but we do have the 3 towers here. We do have a shop coming up. Infi makes it very hard here to be pushed out of this position.
Not even the single arcane tower. Usually the go-to tower if you start pushing to just burn, but you know, I have Siphon. I don't need to burn your mana. I can dispel until the end of days, so I don't need extra damage against summons. I just need a little bit of damage to hold this position, and then I kill your Expo, and that is Moon down to 1 base. Infi will not allow this gold mine to be re-entangled. How much can change in just a couple of weeks?
Yeah, Infi seems to have this game in the bag now. He will be making it through in first place. 2-0ing Moon out of Group C. His expansion is definitely falling. Infi's got decent resources still. This game must be his.
Looks like it. Dryads are melting. Moon is getting a decent supply number, but doesn't have the big bank anymore. He used a lot of wisps, so lumber is short as well, and the tree is gone. Head tilts a little to the side. Does he have another Hail Mary in him? There's even a tech to tier 3. Of course, Infi very, very comfortable now. there's pretty much nothing he can do to lose this game.
Oh, he's exposing the towers now without his army, so these towers will be falling. Something at least for Moon. There is, however, still around 80 supply left. And inner fire as well. And, you know, inner fire rifles, they're pretty good.
You like them. I know, I heard. For 1.5 years now. Okay, towers and shop cleaned up. But I don't think it was Infi's plan to re-expand in the bottom left. That's more of a sock thing. He will have the resources, I guess, as he doesn't have to rebuild army. He still has footmen at the 14.5-minute mark. And now there's Siphon too, by the way. Good luck getting a spell.
You can banish the demon and the bears also very well now. The Siphon is super strong.
Have we seen a good counter to a Blood Mage recently?
Naga second.
Yeah.
That seems to be working out the best, but also you want to play that on big maps, control the map, and then get a third hero later to level it up on Echo Isles. Not so easy. Moon getting pushed back. And I mean, well, it doesn't look like there's much of a chance here, is there?
He's trying so hard, but everything he throws at Infi, look at the rifle damage. It's like 2.5 volleys for a bear to drop. There's no damage coming from the Demon Hunter because Banish, as you said. This Demon Hunter is not the second hero to go. It's just not. That's an outdated strategy that Moon used here.
Yeah, I think, you know, Moon also vetoed Northern Isles and Last Refuge. I think you want to leave in these bigger maps nowadays. GG. Infi wins it.
Not breaking a single sweat this series. That was a demonstration of force by the current WGL champion. And now that the games are over, the jacket goes away as well. Oh boy, this makes me worry for Moon a little bit, as in one game against Foggy, that was really close. In 2 matches against Infi, he had pretty much no chance. I wouldn't be too surprised if he falls in the group stage.
Yeah, his Night Elf Mirror is still outstanding. It's all the Night Elves battling in the lower bracket now for 1 slot. Infi through in first place. You know, between the big tournaments, sometimes we're worried for Infi. He doesn't play that many. Sometimes he's off racing. Sometimes he's not having the best performances. But once we are at the biggest stage again, Infi oftentimes delivers. And that's what he does here in this group stage. Making it out of Group C in first place.
True. Challenged by Colorful. Also, that first map wasn't perfect, but afterwards, pretty much. I wouldn't want to face him first round in the playoffs. He follows Fly and 1-2-0. The Chinese streak continues. That 5 games in a row. 6 games in a row even.
Is Colorful gonna follow in those footsteps, or can our Ukrainian representative Foggy finally break that streak? It's gonna be our next match coming up after this one here in Group C.
Yeah, you know what to do, chat. Spam this Froggy to support Foggy. Foggy, take my energy. He definitely needs that. Night Elf Mirror from the Belarus to a Chinese server against the Chinese. But first, we're going to hear from Infi, of course. The winner interview is coming. We're going to have the support of Vangolia and Aragon Wong once again.
Interesting, by the way, that Lawlight and Moon's map vetoes were looking very differently. Moon vetoed Northern Isles and Last Refuge. Lawlight left them in the map. And guess what? Those were the ones that he won against Shimiko. I think it may be time for the Night Elves to shift their strategy against Human once again. Don't play for the mid game. Don't play the dual hero, but take it late. Keeper Naga Demon is the best that I have seen yet for Night Elf.
Yeah.
Play the Keeper and Mercs early. Get ahead in the early game. Keep up the tempo with the Naga. Force a Mountain King second, and then follow up with the Demon Hunter third.
Yeah.
Hard to do, of course, to control the game that well always, but if you don't, you're right, man. This Demon Hunter second against Blood Mage just does nothing.
I see a lot of froggies in chat already, by the way, and Todd responds with, damn, this makes me hungry. Good mood in chat today. Shout out to you guys. As we're waiting for Infi and BBC to answer a couple of questions. These fan questions especially were quite interesting in the past couple of days, especially if Fly is involved. Looking forward to this. Once again, shout out to our translators. You're doing a wonderful job. Who can stop Infi then? What's his weak? Does he have a weakness?
Well, question is, which race is he gonna play in the other matchups, right? I think Human Mirror he will not be playing. There I could definitely see him switching to Undead. What's he gonna do against Orc is the question. What's he gonna do against Undead is the question.
Yeah.
That's something he's gonna have to be concerned with here going into the top 8. Because, well, he's gonna be facing second place out of Group D, and that fairly likely is not gonna be a Night Elf.
Well, WFZ has to win against Lawlight, and then Lawlight has to lose against Chemico or Blade. Yeah, the odds aren't too great. So, Infi versus Chemico versus Blade versus WFZ. To be honest, we've had the grand final of 1-0 versus Infi 2 times already with 2 different winners. I wouldn't mind for that to happen again. But it's early. We still have more than half of the tournament ahead of us. And that is our winner interview. Damn, the pants of Infi. I'm jealous. Let's see what he has to say. A little smile on his face about the pants as well. So, of course, we're going to provide you with the answers as soon as we get them. Hard to translate as they're talking over each other. So, the first question, obviously, about the pants. Infi says, usually I don't wear these pants outside of my house. I didn't really expect to win, so I didn't expect to be on camera either. That's why I went for them. Maybe lucky sweatpants. So, second question is about the Warden, because he lost to Colorful on day 2, that was. So the question is, yeah, Mountain King versus Warden, you lost to Colorful and you win against Moon. What's the difference? And the answer is, yeah, well, against Colorful, that was Turtle Rock, not Terenas Stand. On Terenas Stand, it's way easier than Turtle Rock. I think that Moon expected me to be very well prepared against the Beastmaster. And that's probably why he went for Warden, but I did practice a lot with Lawlight, and he's better than Moon with the Warden. And the next question is about the second map, of course. Interesting that they all practice with each other, right? Lawlight and Infi giving, of course, a lot of information away with that practice as well. So on Echo Isles, there's not as much gold as on other maps. Why did you decide to go for Rifleman on the second map? And Infi answers, on Echo Isles, I had an even better game than on Terenas, with the Expo cancel super late, or early push, but at the perfect timing, right before the Expo was finished. So I knew he couldn't go for Mountain Giants, which is the most important if you want to go for rifles. Good point, actually. So, you win this match 2-0. You advance to the playoffs. You are the defending champion. How confident are you to win the tournament? Answer not 100% clear here. He says, like, the translation is, I'm not guarding my championship. I just want to be top 8 or something like that. So not too confident, I guess. If he didn't expect to win against Moon, then not too confident for the rest of the tournament either. I think there's going to be plenty of people who think differently. So next question is from the fans. What do you think about Colorful always being the loudest one, or getting louder and louder when he's streaming with you and TH? And not like louder in terms of volume, but more confidence. And okay, he says, compared to TH, that's still bearable. All right, that's pretty much it from the interview. We have a break here, 8 minutes 30, and then it's the fight for survival for Foggy up against the before mentioned Colorful. You know what to do. Support the Fogster. Can he make it to the final day of the group stage? We're back in 8 minutes. Stay tuned. Spread the word.